All right, let's set the stage for this one. Today in Houston, the regional economy is outpacing its peer metros. Jobs and opportunity are trending up, and we've got the quick hits you need to know.
I'm Leah, keeping it real from Houston, Texas, ready to break down what matters close to home.
And I'm Garrett, laid back, curious, and totally down to dig into the day's stories. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett, reporting from Houston, Texas. Let's dive right in. First up, eminent domain has been approved for the Ben Taub Hospital expansion. Ben Taub is the county's major public hospital in the Texas Medical Center. It's the safety net for a lot of families. Harris County signed off on using eminent domain, which is the government's legal power to acquire private property for a public use, usually with compensation, to make room for more capacity and better services. The headline here is straightforward. The expansion aims to boost the hospital's ability to treat more people faster. The tool to get there is controversial in many cases, but the intent cited is healthcare improvement for the community.
That's close to the heart of it. Expanding a public hospital can literally save time and lives. Increased capacity means shorter waits and more access for people who need care most. But why use eminent domain here? Why not just buy the land like usual?
Good question. In plain terms, eminent domain is used when a public interest project needs land and voluntary sales aren't coming together fast enough. It's a way to keep the project on track. It's a heavy tool, for sure, but the county says the goal is more beds and better care. Yeah, that checks out.
Okay, let's move on. Farewell to The Leader, a long-running local publication that just ceased operations. The Leader was one of those neighborhood news staples, the kind that covered school events, small businesses, and the everyday wins and worries that bigger outlets skip. The community's been saying thank you for years of service, and it really is the end of an era. Here's where it gets really interesting. When a local publication shuts down, the gap in coverage is real. Fewer eyes on council meetings, fewer profiles of the shop around the corner, fewer alerts about the little things that shape daily life. It's not just nostalgia, it's about access to timely neighborhood-level information.
Yeah, that hits different. Losing a community voice means fewer connections across blocks and boulevards. Hyperlocal media is like the city's group text. Once it goes quiet, everyone feels a little more in the dark. Not gonna lie, I hope new voices step up. That's a story worth telling when it happens. All right, let's roll on. HCAD, the Harris County Appraisal District, urges homeowners to benefit from homestead exemptions. A homestead exemption reduces the taxable portion of your primary residence. In simple terms, it can lower your property tax bill if you live in the home you own and qualify. HCAD is pushing an awareness wave because a lot of folks either don't know they're eligible or forget to apply when they first move in. In a year when every dollar counts, that relief matters. It can be the difference between barely scraping by and breathing room.
Totally. Financial relief is not abstract, it's groceries, gas, and medicine. But why do so many people miss this? Is it paperwork fear or what?
A bit of everything. It's not always automatic for first-time homeowners. The terminology sounds technical, and life is busy. The key point from HCAD is awareness. If you live in your home and think you might qualify, it's worth checking the rules and getting that exemption on the books.
Switching gears just a little. Construction is underway for pedestrian safety improvements at Ella and Grovewood. That's the stretch near Garden Oaks and the edge of the Heights, where car traffic can feel fast and foot traffic is steady. The plan focuses on safer crossings and visibility. In short, the basics that keep walkers and drivers on the same page. Improving pedestrian safety is simple math. Better design lowers crash risk and makes it more inviting to walk. When a corner gets safer, the whole block benefits. Parents with strollers, students on bikes, seniors with groceries. Let's not let this one slide by. Safer streets are everyday wins.
I'm all about that perspective. Good infrastructure is quiet success. Nobody notices when a safe crossing just works. As someone who loves a little urban exploration, I'm saying yes to anything that makes foot travel the easy, obvious choice. That's pretty cool, right? Last up, Houston's economy is outpacing peer metros, according to GHP, the Greater Houston Partnership, the region's business and economic development group. Their latest read says our regional growth is running hotter than similarly sized metro areas, which signals momentum for jobs, investment, and new projects. In practical terms, faster growth tends to mean more hiring and more small business activity. It doesn't solve everything, but it opens doors. This one's got legs, don't you think?
For real. A rising tide like this can expand opportunities across neighborhoods. A better shot at that first job, a smoother path for a second location if you run a shop, and more buzz for local culture. Let's keep an eye on how that growth spreads, but the outlook is promising. That's the takeaway for this one. From hospitals and homesteads to safer streets and solid growth, Houston's moving.
So there we have it, full circle from our corner of Texas. Thanks for riding along, and catch the next Laid Back Local, the news of the day, with Leah and Garrett, reporting from Houston, Texas.